Enjoy reading the story on Manga Funny channel.
In the previous episode, we reached the part where Sasha saves the fourth princess. In this part, we will continue following the story. He immediately asks her to cover her face. Both she and the princess do not understand what is happening. He says, "Don't you find it embarrassing in front of the princess, even as a trainee knight? Lower your head." After saying that, he pulls the cloth back over her head. Is he perhaps jealous? To the princess says, "Oh, I'm fine. Please tend to his wound quickly. First, let me take him to my room and call a doctor." He replies, "Thank you for your concern, but I can't cause such disturbance for the princess. I will take him for treatment." She thinks to herself, what is going on? The Count's tone is polite, but he seems angry for some reason. He is acting strangely today. 3 he adds, "Anyway, it's your fault for getting hurt by such a weak assassin. This means all your training has been useless. So Sasha, when your wound heals, you should intensify your training." After saying this, he again covers her head, looking angry. She responds, "What? Are you joking with me? Training more is too much. At least you could have praised me." Just then, as they were talking, Princess Cordelia arrives, making Sasha have to gulp behind him. Cordelia asks her sister, "You were attacked, weren't you? What is happening here? Let me see if you're hurt anywhere." The fourth princess responds, "I'm fine." The fourth princess pointed at her and said that she had protected herself from the assassin. At that moment, both sisters looked at the Count. Luckily, she had gulped behind him. The fourth princess says, "Yes. If it weren't for that night, I would have really been in danger. You really did something wonderful. Thank you for that." She turns around and says, "No, it's nothing. I just did what any knight would do." She thought to herself, can she not realize? I thought I had modulated my voice enough, but was that not enough? What should I do now? My identity has been exposed. I thought I had reminded myself before. The princess asks, "Are you okay?" She responds, "Oh, it's not a serious injury," so she hasn't recognized her yet. The princess praises her skills, impressed by her age. At this time, he says, "We have finished preparations for interrogating the assassin who targeted the princess. If you need to testify, I will call you, so you should go to the hospital right now." She thinks it's good to leave right now. That night, in his office, he was reading a secret letter. She thinks he is heartless, but still will report on the attempt on the princess. Raphael Ludovica thinks, "I never thought he would use his child like this." The assassin turned out to be one of the fourth princess's escorts. He is a secret warrior of the emperor. The emperor would use his knights to assassinate the fourth princess. He must have planned to make me responsible for this, making it a perfect opportunity to shatter my reputation as a royal and a war hero, by saying that I did not protect her safety. But the assassin has been handled, so you can rest easy. Raphael Ludovica thinks, just like in the Mandate, Sasha stopped the assassin. Is this just a coincidence this time, or just a way to diminish my suspicions about him? I think he's just a stranger, but I have never met anyone whose thoughts are so hard to read. I keep looking at his dumb face, his smile. I wonder if he is a strange boy. I still find his identity uncertain, and Raphael Ludovica thinks his extraordinary skills are concerning. Moreover, a hero of the Empire is just an ordinary person, right? This is really ridiculous. Why does that saying stay in my mind? Anyway, he is in my hands. I will find out his purpose for being close to me and catching my attention. I will find out, no matter how long it takes. The next day, at the training grounds, she asks Brandon, "What happened today that made all the knights go crazy?" Brandon whispered in her ear about this secret. They have covered up the assassination of the fourth princess. The assassin even confessed. Why is that? While discussing, Idris appears and says, "The answer to that is in what you said. I guess, enough to talk more secretly." The two are startled by Idris's hearing. "Lieutenant, Idris, what are you doing here?" he replies. Today I will supervise the training. Everyone silence and form a line. So they will cover up the assassination just because the assassin said so? Why? It is an assassination attempt on a member of the royal family. Could it be? Is there any important person related to this case that we cannot touch? If so, everything is starting to come together. If I do not find the assassin's name, if the princess is really assassinated, then the one benefiting from it could be the emperor. He could use that as a reason to hold the count responsible. And the count would come to the investigation to the west, which he had refused earlier. Even so, how could he use his own daughter to do this? This emperor is more cruel than I thought. He scares me. Moreover, if everything goes as the emperor wants and the count goes to the west, there is a high possibility Ethan will be gathered into that group, which would ruin my plan. Just after I promised Idris to keep the information secret, this happened, so I am worried I might have acted too overtly. But maybe continuing is the right thing to do. While she is thinking, someone calls her. It turned out to be the Count who asked Idris to call her to his office. She is exempt from training today, so go to the Count's place. She replies, yes. In her head, she thinks, what? Exempt? What is happening now? I feel uncomfortable. When she arrives at the office, she is ordered to clean, making her puzzled. She asks, do I have to clean this spacious office myself? Why? Can't you do it? He replies, of course I can, but I am a knight. I am not here to do housework. And finally she ends up being the cleaner. Since this is the first time she is called after the incident, I think there must be something important to discuss. I want to go home. I want to meet my sister and brother. While cleaning, he asks, Sasha, I want to ask you about the incident yesterday. You didn't have to go through the garden on your way from the training field to my office, did you? She replies, yes, what? When she turns around, he has moved close to her face, making her confused. He says, tell me. Tell me why you didn't come straight to my office that day and instead stopped to look at the flowers in the garden.